I messed up a lot. I messed up a whole lot, and he's mounted on me. Good guard pass, oh my gosh. So number one, guys, I always start with 3 things, okay? So chin down, and when I say chin down, guys, yes, that protects my neck, but also I'm trying to force my neck into the mat, okay? So I can have my chin down and my head up. I can have my chin down and maybe have a little bit of like arch here in my neck, a little bend in my neck. I don't want Levi to be able to get his arm behind my head, right? So if he can get under, he can start controlling me and start attacking a little better. So first thing I do, neck completely flat, okay? And I'm kind of pressing that down. Second thing, probably honestly the first thing I do is get my elbows in, but it's all kind of one thing, okay? So I'm just starting at the top down, elbows in and pressing downward, okay? So just squeezing them into my ribs. Number one, it's not really doing anything to his posture, but also like if I just squeeze toward my ribs, he can kind of grab my arm and pull it up or push it down. It's just not as strong as it is when I push them downward, okay? So now pull my, it's much harder for him to like move my arms. Plus, when I'm pushing down, if I bump, it blocks his knees and it can break his base, okay? So neck flat, chin down, elbows in and pressing down, and then you'll notice I'm one leg up, one leg down, okay? So I generally start with that because I'm normally gonna start with an elbow escape, okay? We'll start with the shrimp today, or the Upa today. So Upa, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bridge, I'm gonna break his base, bink. Now I need to control one arm, okay? So I don't like all this weird stuff here. This is bad for me, okay, so I grab it, boom, I'm gonna pull it down, and if I can get it across my body, even better, but like kind of just pull it to the center. The grip I take is a cross grip, like I'm chopping his elbow, and then this hand comes behind his elbow, okay? A lot of times guys will just grab here and then he just pulls his arm right out. So this kind of encapsulates, I can't talk today, guys, encapsulates his elbow here, and then this blocks it from being able to pull out. And with this grip, I can keep my elbows nice and flat, okay? So, other foot, bink, come up, and I'm pinching his foot with both feet. So I've got his right arm, right leg controlled. Now, I bridge up and over like I'm gonna make him roll on this shoulder, okay? So up, and over, boom. On the way over, I'm thinking about like hitting him in the ribs with that elbow. Okay, that does a couple things. Number one, it helps roll him over. Number two, I don't want my elbow to cross that center line. I'm in a bad way if it does, okay? So boom, neck flat, elbows down, one leg up, one leg down. I break his base, I catch the arm, I trap the foot, big bridge, I use this elbow here, up and over. Now once I'm here, guys, I have to protect myself. Don't like just hang out, right? So either hunker down or good posture up right off the bat. Okay, be ready to get into a passing game. Simple. All right, one more time, a little bit faster. Hooah. So boom. Okay, bridge, trap, and up. Good. I'm just trapping, so don't just trap one. If I trap one, he can actually grapevine the other. And it kind of makes it wonky, so boom. So I like to just almost catch his ankle with my ankles, and then I have it trapped. So it should be hard for him to pull that leg out. If I'm having trouble, bring your knee up high. Yeah, if I can't reach this here, it's because this elbow hasn't driven his leg down enough. So if you're finding you're having a hard time accessing his ankle, just use that elbow a little more to push his foot lower, okay? If on the bridge, he doesn't seem like he wants to go, I can do a standing with base, okay? So I bridge and he didn't go, I can rip that through just a little more, okay? And then go. Make sense? A bridge, stand with base is a real quick motion. I personally never needed to do that, but you can if you find it's not quite going. You can start pulling that bottom leg through a little bit. We did the elbow escape or the shrimp escape the other day. Boom, so I'm here. I've got my frames on the belt and the leg. I get on my hip, I grab this foot, bring it over, I shrimp out, okay? So let's work this off of the Upa. So what happens? Typically one of two things happens that make him stop this mount, or this Upa escape. Number one, he pulls his foot out and he creates base. He does that, awesome. Look what he just gave me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Now it doesn't have to be this dramatic. I appreciate your working. But it comes out, my elbows are already in, right? So boom, shrimp out, knee elbow connection. And look, if I had a good bite on the arm, automatically then arm drag and just start taking the back. Okay? If not, I'm at least in half guard, maybe digging my underhook, okay? So, same thing, same trap, everything's the same, but top guy, you're gonna defend this by pulling that leg out. As soon as I feel it, guys, knee and elbow, and that knee slides under. So remember, a little bit, remember that foot is, that leg's flat, and try to turn your toe. I always think about almost turning them down, because I don't want to do this, right? And try to bring it through the top. I bring it as low to the ground as I possibly can. Boom. Okay, if he pulls his hand out here, underhook. And now we start working our half guard. Okay? So do it slow a few times if you need to. Other than that, guys, boom, boom. We're gonna speed it up, okay? So I go to bridge, foot comes out as soon as I feel it, guys, boom. Automatically, I'm coming up, starting to attack. Whoop. Okay, elbows down, neck flat, boom, trap it, okay? Now as I bridge, whoop, right here. If I hit the knee, no big deal, that's what my elbow's for, whoop, or the ankle, whatever. My knee hits his ankle. And then if I still have this, guys, awesome, just drag it through. Oh, start working our way up. I go for the Upa, right? Bing, everything's the same. So real quick, I'm gonna mention this because I saw Jake do it. Sometimes that leg comes out, okay? So boom, and then when I shrimp, it's like my whole body comes out with it. Totally fine if that happens. Like if you're trying to like force one leg out and there's so much space your hips can come out, awesome. That's almost exactly what we're about to do, okay? So the one I find I hit a lot more, and I don't know if it's because guys know better than to pull that leg out, or if I just have a really good leg trap, or maybe a combination of both, is as I'm going for this Upa, he takes his free arm and he kind of bases this way, right? Okay, so the harder I Upa that way, the more he has to base. Well, when he pulls his leg out, he opens up this side. When he bases that way, there's no space here, he opens up this side, okay? So when I bridge, boop, look, I'm on my side, my elbows are still in creating the frames. Now I literally do that exact same motion. I just slide my hips toward his knee. Boom, okay? If I get both legs out, awesome. I'm in a nice butterfly guard. If I only get one leg out, I generally, well, if I get my top leg out, the bottom leg follows. But if I shrimp, and he's kind of heavy, and that bottom knee comes in, boom, let's go right here, okay? Just bring my foot right into the hip, connect my knee and my ankle, okay? And then we're in single leg X, okay? So we can attack legs, I can start sweeping or whatever. Right now, guys, we'll just get to this point, okay? So I want you to try both. I want you to shrimp out, boom, and get both knees in. And then I want you to shrimp out bottom knee only. Top knee comes around the outside. I think there's an Eminem reference in there somewhere, but boom. Okay, right here. Top leg goes around the outside. I don't know how that song goes.
Mom spaghetti.
It's about my spaghetti. Okay, so same thing, boom. I go to Upa, and he doesn't free his leg. He posts with that other one. Boom. As soon as I feel him not go, I shoot my hips out, but these arms are still framing. Boom. Oh, I didn't get my top leg through. Wow. Okay? And don't be loose here, guys. My little mantra here is heel to hip, knee to heel. So I pinch, boom. Make that connection, all right? It's gonna be a lot tighter. He's not just gonna push it off and start attacking again. So I get it. I go to Upa, and he just he kind of tees, right? But there's space over here. So elbows in, hips out, butterfly, or boom, bring it through. Make sense? So as you guys are drilling this, do both, okay? So I'll go one, boom, bang. I get my Upa and he pulls the leg out. I'm up, working. I get my Upa and he posts with the free arm. Boom. Bah, right there. Hoo-ah! Real fast, couple details, couple questions and stuff. Number one, just keep in mind space. I have to create space, okay? Top guy takes space, bottom guy makes space, right? If I can make space, I'm gonna escape. If he can take my space away, he's gonna stay where he's at. Don't separate the bridge on this from the shrimp, okay? So boom, I go. When I'm bridging, it's not bridge, stop, try to escape. The bridge is part of this. The bridge is what changes his weight distribution, right? So when I bridge, it also changes my body angle. So now I'm on my side, I'm on my shoulder, my frames are set, I've created space for him from the ground. Now, my shrimp creates the space for my body from his, okay? It's the same when I'm escaping side control. When I'm escaping side control, I think the biggest thing people mess up on is we sing the song, right? Near elbow, far elbow, bridge, shrimp, and swim. They either bridge or they just try to shrimp and then he just keeps his knee in, okay? It's shrimp and,
Sing the song.
I had to sing the whole song. Near elbow, far elbow, bridge, shrimp, and swim, right? So that bridge is an important part. They both have to happen for me to escape, whether that's mount. Now I will say you can shrimp out of mount a little easier, right? But in this scenario where I'm setting up my shrimp or my elbow escape with the Upa, that Upa is my bridge. That's what moves his body so that I can move mine. Cool? And then two other little things real quick. So Bodie was asking about the hand grip, okay? So I prefer cross grip on top, cross grip behind, okay? He was saying that he's been grabbing this way and this way. It's okay, all right? It's okay. The detriment to the cross grip here is when I cross grip Levi has a cross grip on me, okay? But I still like this one better because most of my escape comes from this bottom side elbow. So that's what's kind of blocking, boom, it's on the knee. Whereas when I'm on this side, look how much further away my elbow is from his knee, okay? And if he had like big biceps or muscles or anything, it'd be way further.
Sir,
but he doesn't.
On your grip on your right hand side, you have your thumb going north. Can you also do the thumb south?
This way? No,
Yes, sir.
it turns my elbow out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's why I'm specific with this grip here, okay? And then, and Buddy brought up another good point. Sometimes, guys, it's not always especially in lack of the bridge, the lack of the Upa, sometimes it's hard just to get one big, giant, like, shrimp and escape. But if I can get a couple little, like, little micro bursts, kind of create like an earthquake, sometimes that'll help, okay? So make sure, like, let's say, you know, I go for my Upa, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to Upa, bing, and then I go to shrimp, see, dang it. Don't punish yourself, don't stop, okay? I never expect what I do to work perfectly. Okay, so I shrimp, doesn't work, boom, yeah. Now you toast, and then I just pull my legs out, and he just lays there because he's so impressed with my amount of escapes. Maybe not. Generally here, guys, if he's up, I just start for the elbow escape, or I break him down. Okay, so today we're gonna attack the hips. So I'm gonna break him down. By breaking him down, I'm either going to use my knee, boop, okay, or I can bridge. Okay, but part of this is my elbows pushing down on his quad. If I'm just bridging around and he doesn't want to fall, it doesn't work. I can knee him in his butt, doesn't work. Elbows come in and down, boom, makes it real easy, okay? A lot of times you'll hear me in like in coaching in tournaments, and I'll be like, both hands on one knee, hands in the hips, or both hands on one knee, okay? So generally, as I'm escaping, I'll get a side so you can see a little better. As I'm escaping, it's either like my frame here, so both hands on one knee, sometimes I'm even pushing, or what we're gonna do today is both hands in the hip, okay? It's real similar to what we did last week. Boop, off of the Upa, but let's say I don't have any arms trapped here. So what this looks like is I go here, pink, as he's down, my hands shift to the hips, okay? But like low hips, not high, not in his chest or armpits. So low hips, kind of like we're dancing, but we're not. And then I'm just gonna explode out with my arms one way and my hips the other, okay? So I bridge up and shrimp out, okay? So this is the space I'm looking for. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing we did off of the Upa Escape. So either my bottom leg comes in, boom, post on the belly, my body comes to his ankle, and then we go heel to hip, knee to heel, okay? When we get into that like single leg X position, or come back down, boom, or boom. I just bring my knees out, okay? If I can get both out, that's usually my personal preference. I'd rather get to a strong guard and start attacking than try to get into like a leg lock battle or whatever, okay? If you guys were here, you could play with like play with the Upa a little bit. Maybe I go to Upa and his hands are out, I'm not getting it, cool. Boom, bah, right there, okay? Trick is I'm posting on those hips. So his weight's here, not gonna push. Also, I don't really have anything to push on, right? I don't have like access to his hips. This isn't gonna do me any good. So I bring him down. As he comes down, when his weight comes forward, he has less weight on his hips, plus now I have something to push on, okay? So don't push up, I just push out to the side. So I push this way and my hips move out. Now I like to add a little bridge first, just to give me a little space, get my hips off the mat. I said I always start with one leg up, one leg down, okay? So this initial start here is, because usually like my initial escape is just the elbow escape, okay? And if I'm hanging out and I'm up and Matt wants to grapevine my legs, this sucks for me, okay? So just by starting here, even if he grapevines one, he can't get to the other, all right? Also, looking at bridging, typically when I start this, if I'm gonna bridge him that way, I'm pretty okay with this right leg being up. It's real easy, I can bridge to my left, okay? But if you decide you want to bridge to your right, the second leg has to come up, okay? I can't bridge to my right very effectively with my right leg up, okay? So when you're bridging, guys, most of the time just bring both knees up. Also, make sure as I'm doing this, I want my feet on the insides of his feet, okay? So if I go and I start doing this, he can grapevine my leg pretty quick, and then he kind of kills my bridge, okay? So as I'm pummeling the legs, as I'm doing whatever, as I'm bringing my feet up, I want to bring them up central, okay? Inside of his feet, not to the outside. The one goes to the outside when I'm doing Upa and trapping the leg, but otherwise, my feet try to stay on the insides of his legs if I can. Okay, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Cool, all right. So like I want to do the same exact move. This time, he's gonna kind of catch my head, okay? So we're gonna have to do the same move, but like a couple times in succession, all right? So I go, boom. So I go to push him to my left. He's gonna catch my head with his left hand, boom, and he pulls himself back down. Well, don't just go, oh no, life sucks. It's horrible, okay? What's gonna happen here is I'm gonna kind of build momentum. So let me do it without you real quick. So as I go, I push, I'm trying to go this way, and he pulls himself back in. So I just go the other way. As his hips come in, until I make that space, okay? Now it may not work. Nothing's foolproof, right? But if I can just build that momentum of his hips coming toward me and almost create like a bounce effect, it'll open up a little more space. That's my goal anyway, okay? So boom, so I go, pop, I'm going. He kind of grabs my head, he pulls his hips back in. I feel that coming down. There it goes, okay? I got way out on that one. So I'm here, I'll start this side. It's not working, it's not working. Oh, it works, okay? And I usually find 3 is kind of the magic number, all right? But it might take 4, it might take 5, it could take 6. If it takes more than 6, you're probably just wearing yourself out, right?
Do something.
Okay? Yeah, do something else. So here's what I look at, and this is with all of jiu-jitsu. Who's making progress? Is he progressively regaining his mount position, or am I progressively escaping? Okay? If I'm just getting these little incremental, like, oh, there's 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, I'm progressing, okay? And I'll keep going as long as I'm progressing. Once I'm like, 3 millimeter, 2 millimeter, stop, go, do something else, okay? I have to be progressing. So yeah, so we got a lot of new guys in here. As I bridge, all Matt's gonna do, if I'm bridging him to his right, he's gonna catch my head with his left, and he's just gonna kind of post out with his right, okay? So now as I've created that space, he uses this arm and this leg to pull himself back down. That's where I'm going the other way. And then I go the other way, okay? So practice getting to the butterfly and to that single leg X, okay? Takes a little more work, a little more hips, a little more arms, but most things don't work on our first attempts. We do have the option of going straight up, okay? Now, I can break him down, bridge up, drop my hips, and bring my knees in, okay? But I have a little bit of a hard time with that one, and then we can do some little like the earthquake and stuff, or like shake. But the way I like to set this up is actually, it kind of comes from like this old MMA thing, right? So what happens here is I break him down, and I'm gonna grab around his shoulders, okay? So this is almost the opposite of what I always tell you guys to do. I'm gonna take my own space away, okay? So I grab around the shoulders, and I'm gonna tuck my head into his armpit over here, okay? Now the main reason of doing that is so he can't really punch me in the face. He can only kind of hit me in the back of the head effectively, which, you know, he shouldn't be doing. Jiu-jitsu wise, there's not really a good reason not to just grab and hold. But what I'm waiting for here is I'm kind of holding him down, okay? And now, overall, he's not really gonna care, okay? He's gonna hang out until he wants to attack, okay? So it's really hard to attack him here. So most of the time, guys will start pushing the face, they'll start like sitting up. Even just that motion upward is all I really need. So now once I feel him start moving his body upward, or he pushes my head, I'm gonna bridge. And as soon as I bridge, my hands go to his hips. Okay, there's my space. So I bridge, hands in the hips, and then I drop my hips, bring my legs in. Once I hit that butterfly guard, I shoot him out. Boom. I'm kind of doing this a little differently than like I normally would, right? Normally I'm trying to make space. Well, this time I'm just kind of baiting him to make his own space. I'm holding, boom. Okay, so I reach up, pulling him down, maybe even like kind of, if he tries to go up once, like, pull him down real hard. And then as he pulls up, I bridge, I let go, I create the frame with my hands in his hips. My hips come down, but I still have my frame here, okay? So as my hips come down, make it one motion, knees in. Then drive him out. Now we can start to attack. Okay? Simple.
Good question.
Yep.
Do you prefer S grip or gable grip? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, good question. So S grip or gable? Really, it doesn't super matter. I like the S grip on this just because it, number one, like I'm going around the shoulders and lats and stuff, so that gives me a little more space. And I think with this one, it's just a little more natural grip than a gable. But yeah, so I do an S grip on this, just tuck, 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 boom, and then boom. these escapes are a little unorthodox, okay? So not the ones I use every single day. But one of my follow-up escapes to this is, it's a version of an elbow escape, okay? And actually, I really like this. I believe I saw Tyrone Glover do it, but same thing, same concept, boom. So I can do this just from here, or I can do it when I'm here, right? So I'm here, and maybe Chris isn't doing much of anything. I need to kind of get out of this. Maybe I had a failed attempt at it, whatever. But what you'll notice, my arms are on the outside, okay? So generally for a mount escape, this is not what I want, right? I'm always talking about being on the inside and framing this. But I can't take advantage of my arm being on the outside because he's probably gonna try to attack it if I just give it to him. So, yeah, stuff like that, right? So I'm gonna start up high, bing, it's not working, his hips are heavy, what have you. I don't feel comfortable doing this. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna leave one hand behind, I'm gonna take it down around his waist while the other one works its way inside, okay? So I go like this. Now, as I do that, I'm gonna turn hard one way, okay? Almost like I'm baiting him to take the arm this way. So here's the trick though, guys. If you look at my knees, my right leg, or right arm is around his waist, my right leg goes over the top of his leg, almost like I'm straddling it, right? If I get all the way up on my knees, this is actually probably even better. So I'm kind of straddling that leg. That's basically my half guard, right? So I pinch, my elbow comes in, I'm gonna pull him back. As I sneak under, boom, now I have my underhook, and I'm in an offensive half guard. Okay? So, I can bump, I can start here, but man, I just don't feel good about it. So in one motion, I'm gonna let my hands drop, and I'm basically gonna belly out on that leg. Right here. Pinch it, and I'm just starting my elbow escape. And then keep that hand under, guys. Like, think about being around his waist the whole time. Boom. Now I'm here. Okay, so it's basically the same as an elbow escape. And if I can't get a good turn, if I miss my turn, let's say he's real heavy on me, I don't get to my, I can't get to my knees. Look, same thing. Dig, dig, dig. Boom. Hit my little leg switch. We got it. Biggest mistake I see people make on this is for some reason, boom, they go and they get it and they get the leg out, and then they go. And, you have to try really hard to give them an underhook. But guys do it all the time, okay? So I always, 99% of the time, I want my arm under his armpit side, right? He wants his arm on my armpit side. So we're constantly battling for that underhook. I have the underhook, I have control. Start here, it's not working for me, I'm scared of it, whatever. Whoop. Start of the leg, come back. So what I want to deal with a little bit today is when this guy's got his knees a little higher, okay? So he wins this war, right? Like, I'm always trying to shimmy, keep my neck flat, get those elbows down. This makes escaping so easy for me, but he's gotten inside my elbows. I'm having a hard time, not able to get down. He's smashing me, he's crushing my face, whatever. So the elbow escape's not working. Look, if his knees are high, oftentimes, guys, I can pivot this hand down, catch under that ankle, okay? So I don't necessarily like taking my hands away from my face. I don't necessarily like not having a frame, but if I can't frame with this elbow, make sure I'm still framing with that hand, pivot here, catch under his ankle right there. He can't really hide that. Catch it, bump, pick it up, bring the leg under, okay? Now here's where the fight starts. So once I get under the ankle, he's probably not just gonna let me totally shrimp out. So I catch, and then we do the exact same thing I do on the elbow escape, right? Kind of shift my legs. This top knee presses down, this bottom knee presses up to create that space. Okay? Okay, so I'm kind of doing a little scissor motion there. Boop. So, bing. Now, once that comes in, or once that knee comes up, boom, my elbow starts coming in. Same elbow escape as always, okay? Once I'm here, guys, make sure I've got my underhook. Now, we can just start our natural, like, offensive half guard, right? Start my back take, he overhooks. Boom, I start under. Okay, we can switch to ledge guard. Whatever you want, whatever your style of half guard is, guys, we can just attack from there, okay? If you don't have a half guard game, just go to full guard, okay? Okay, so, yep, yeah, he got his knees up, oh no, what do I do? Okay, frame, make sure, guys, do not let that elbow cross that center line. I'm in a real bad way if it does, okay? My elbow stays on that side of him. Project the neck, pivot the hand under, give it a little bump, boop, catch. Now we're here. Now look, guys, if you don't have a half guard game, jump out, bring that knee in, whoosh, go to full guard, okay? Simple enough. One more time, one more time. Oh, what a great pass. Okay, so I'm doing all the things right. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he punched me or something, and I'm like, oh no. Guard's real high, okay? Trying to shimmy, it's not working. Making sure to keep my neck flat. Boom, start creating my frames. Hand pivots down. If you have to here, guys, like, I can't just muscle that foot up normally. So just give me another little bump. Boom. Okay, catch it. Get that elbow back involved. Bah. Okay. Simple enough, easy. Don't ever just start there, okay? Never am I gonna get mounted and just be like, just start grabbing at feet, okay? Doesn't work. I've got to try to set everything else in place. It's kind of like it's a natural response from that. This is the one I usually do first if the knees are high, okay? So, and I'm not able. Usually, like if he's got a high mount, I always just try to shimmy, get my elbows back in. But if I'm just not able to, yeah, now we go. Whoop. That's usually pretty easy, okay? Or sometimes, guys, people they call it monkey mount sometimes. Put your feet like, nope. Yeah, in the hips.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually kind of hard to deal with because as I bridge, he sticks to me. So if the feet are there, it's the same concept. I bridge, I catch, and then I drop my hip under. Boom. And do the same thing, okay? Here's my last resort, or the back door escape, okay? You might have some trouble with this one, but do not try this right off the bat. That's why I call it the last resort. Now, if you're a super flexible Gumby person, I don't think anybody in here is. Cody might be the closest, but not really, okay? You see guys throw their legs up, start doing all this weird stuff. This is position, okay? So you gotta make sure everything's right. So the way we're gonna do this, he gets his knees high, okay? Maybe even higher. I would like this, where I just don't have a good frame. I'm having a hard time doing everything, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go hands in the armpits, okay? I drive him over my head, all right? So I drive him up. Now I don't wanna stay here because he'll rip my arm off if I do, but keep in mind, guys, I'm a little bit safe on this just because my arm isn't across that center line. When my arm crosses the center line, he has an easy arm bar, okay? It's a little harder for him to arm bar me here when my arm's on this side of his body, okay? And I wanna do this quick. So, boom, as soon as I push him up, as soon as I feel that base, my feet take the place of my arms, okay? So I kick my head off to one side, feet in the armpits, and as soon as the feet go in the armpits, my hand comes down to the belt or the waist, and I continue pushing him up, okay? So I push, I do a shoulder roll, and now as I come out, guys, we have a couple options here. I can take a leg, boom, okay, start attacking the ankle, or boom, I can just come up and start attacking the back, which probably right now is the better call. Make sure, don't do this. Try to roll over your neck, okay? When we're doing back rolls, I have to move my head out of the way. This is where I roll, okay? So as I push, I'm rolling over that shoulder, okay? And this is a group effort. My hands push, my feet connect, and then my hands go to the belt. My legs and arms push him up. And by up, I mean relative to my head, not to the ceiling. Okay, so push him out, however you want to think of that. So I start him going, boom, feet, hands on the belt, push, 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 and I'm just coming out that back door, okay? If he hangs out like this, yeah, I can connect to a foot. I can come up, it's going to depend on what he's doing, okay? Most of the time, he's not just going to lay there. Here's the thing, guys, I'm not flexible even remotely.
You say that.
I'm not, even a little bit. I've got a bad lower back. Like, you just have to put your hands and feet in the right places, okay? And you have to get your head out of the way. Here's the biggest problem. Everybody goes like this, and they're like, okay, don't keep your head straight. Turn your head off. Head off line, boom, makes it much easier. Boom, and then that pulls me out the back, okay? Grab that ankle, oh, rip it off, Denny. Rip that ankle.
It's all fun and games. I'm gonna pop my knee.
Okay?